Hi folks, it's Edmund back again from Sacred Grove, just giving you a bit of a look at the farm itself. Quick rundown of what we've got growing here, and we'll have a bit of a look around the farm so you can see where some of the groves are. This one in particular is the oldest one, 2007 we put this one in, 2007, 2008. It's called the Chaff Shed Grove. It's right next to the old 140 odd year old barn here, hence the name. And there's a combination of plants such as the sandalwood that's right next to me, and I've got some, where are we? Well, right behind me, just one second. I've got the scented emu bush with the lovely magenta flowers, and also some native pines scattered throughout the property. So let's take a bit of a look around, a bit of a tour, and we'll get to know Sacred Grove a little bit more. Alright, here we are at the Chaff Shed Grove. This was established in 2009, and as you can see behind me, this is a large collection of the scented emu bush that we're using in our Desert Survivor Bush rubs, Desert Survivor Bush oil, and soon to be released our massage oil range as well, so which will incorporate the pain relief, the antiseptic properties, calmative properties. And we're also going to be introducing in some of those ranges, across here we have the sandalwood, for example. So there's a lovely tree of it here. They're all a little bit pongy. They're flowering right now, and unlike a lot of flowers that the bees love that are sweet and smell beautiful, and for sure sandalwood does smell beautiful, but the flower smell is not that incredible. It's very base, it's very heavy, and the principal pollinators fly, so you can imagine the smell is not like some amazing perfume. But then amazingly enough, over time it becomes a beautiful smelling plant. That's mainly through the oil of the stem. But one interesting note is these trees also produce very large nuts, and they're very tough. They've got a very, very, very hard kernel. You know, they're like a rock. These guys, they can sit out in the bush for 1 year, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe more, and just do their time until it's right, and then out they come and grow again. And what we do though is we crack them, and then you end up with edible nuts. These are all raw. Oh. I'm nuts, so I guess that's why I grow nuts. And they are delicious. I think they're definitely better though with a bit of the oven, a bit of oil. I'll put that down. And we might even have a crack at putting some chocolate around these as well, so that should be delicious. But coming over this way, as I mentioned before, the principal plant here at Sacred Grove is the scented emu bush, which there's a fair swag here. They get pruned a fair bit. What we predominantly do with those is we'll strip the leaves. So we'll you get a handful of leaves like that. These are not totally dried yet. We dry them in a cool environment and then turn that into the tea, often including the flowers. However, to make the rub or the oil, we use them fresher than this, and then they'll be cold infused for a while and then bottled up. Yeah, that's those. We'll just wander over to the last one, or plant in this particular group, is the native pine. And I'll just So yeah, native pine. There's 7 or 8 or so in Australia, and this one is a local one, Calitris gracilis, and anti-inflammatory properties in particular for this one. And yeah, it's a beautiful aromatic, so we're starting to infuse that as well in some of our products. And the smell is actually like myrrh. It's an absolutely beautiful plant, and the termites don't eat it. So part of the reason I'm growing this one is, I think I've wrong this old trap here. Now is the old house, which is 140 years old, had termites go through it pretty well, but the only timber that they didn't touch was the native pine. So it's a winner. It smells absolutely beautiful in the fireplace, and no doubt the essential oil would be interesting, which is another thing. But anyway, this gives you a bit of an idea of the this particular grove here, the brick kiln grove, and we'll take you to a couple of other spots, and hope you're enjoying the look around the farm here. Okay, here we are at the third and final location of the farm tour. This is the Working Horse Grove. It was established in 2011. And there's a couple more of them in here, the mighty scented emu bush, that's for sure. And there's a combination of, we have a flat leaf form, a round leaf form, and a rarer, somewhat stronger though, aromatic for sure, the yellow leaf form that will go over in finer detail down the track. But this gives you an idea, I guess, of the spread and the lay of the land, and we've got revegetation right around, and within the re-veg I've planted the sandalwood as well, so it's like value adding the re-veg, and it's part of the deal, I guess, of being certified organic. You've got to have buffers, and trees definitely help in that. And then if we come across here, you can see just to the distance there's an old ruin. Now that ruin is part of the history of the property. It was the where a working horse used to be, draft horses pulling up the clay for the brickworks, that ended up finishing in 1957, ran for 70, 80 odd years. And there was a chap that used to live in there, I'm guessing it was a chap. And surrounded by that area is the Oscar Charlie forest, so essentially it's about 1,000 odd natives, which are host plants, and they'll be for the sandalwood trees that are coming along. So we've got the scented emu bush going on here, but then we've got another thinking, okay, I've got some boys, let's put in some sandalwood down the track. They might be of use to them, and I can cultivate them and utilise the nuts in the process, because it takes 15 odd years or so to get a sandalwood matured. And further on from the working horse, or the ruin, there is where we were just before, with the native pine and a more intense and an older sandalwood grove, and the scented emu bush, and Shiva's out there as well. Oh, there's Pook. So that gives you a bit of a look at the broader end, and have a bit of a look around at the farm here. When we arrived back in 2006, there was what trees? Apple pine down there. Apple pines around the old house, but apart from that, she was a clean slate. So lots of time to put in some trees, that's for sure. All right. Okay, this is the last, the final place for the quick tour around Sacred Grove, here at 32 Mullane Road, Belvedere. And I guess what really got me interested when I first saw this property in October 2006 was this is the emu bush, so it's Eremophila alternifolia. So it's obviously it's a cousin to the scented emu bush, which is Eremophila alternifolia, old native foliage, and this is just long foliage. And they do say it was the possibly a food for an emu, and you get these little little berries that come off the plant. I guess an emu would have eaten them. I guess I don't have the same appetite as an emu, but maybe if you're super hungry. But back in time, this was a extremely highly regarded plant for the indigenous people around here, and is one of the most important cultural plants, as opposed to medicinal, for Central Desert Indigenous. Right throughout the lifespan, significant moments in time, markers of time for many of the cultures in the Central Desert still use this plant today. So when I arrived, I saw that. I thought, if you're happy here, maybe your cousin, the Alternifolia, might be here happy as well. So these are old and straggly. They were here when we arrived, but I'll give them a bit of a lot back, and sometimes they look a bit sulky, but they come good, and got extraordinarily strong antiseptic properties. In this plant has been started to be used with surgeons for prostheses or metal implants in the body. It's a very good cleaning agent for that. So it does has high hopes. Alright, well that sort of gives you a bit of an idea. Hope you've enjoyed it, and next time we'll revisit some of the plants in more detail. Alright, thank you very much for your time, and look forward to touching base with you another time here at Sacred Grove.